Okay, meron din tayong tinatawag na ketogenesis under the under the lipid metabolism. So, ketogenesis is a metabolic pathway wherein the ketone bodies are synthesized from the acetyl-CoA na na-produce from the beta oxidation. So, ketone bodies is one of the three substances. Ano ba itong mga ketone bodies na to? It could either be the acetoacetate, beta-hydroxybutyrate, or acetone. So they are produced from the acetyl-CoA when there is an excess acetyl-CoA from fatty acid degradation. So kapag masyado nang mataas, madami na ang ating acetyl-CoA at hindi naman sila pupasok sa Krebs cycle, they could undergo ketogenesis para maging ketone bodies sila. So it is now known rather that these ketone bodies can serve as a source of energy for various tissues and are very important in energy sources in heart muscle and renal cortex. And even the brain, which requires glucose, can adapt to obtain the portion of its energy from the ketone bodies in dieting situations that involve a properly constructed low carbohydrate diet. So yung mga low carb sila tapos nakikito nagkikitong ang tawag doon sa diet na yan na puro lipids lang kinakain nila. So these ketone bodies could actually supply the needed energy if there are low carbohydrate diets. Okay, so the two of the ketone bodies in the form of acetoacetate and beta hydroxybutyrate are synthesized by ketogenesis in the liver and released in the bloodstream. However, the acetone, which is the third ketone body, is released in the bloodstream, and then from there, the third ketone bodies will be produced. So, after after these two ketone bodies are released, dun pa lang maproproduce si acetone sa bloodstream. Now, acetoacetate is somewhat unstable and can spontaneously or enzymatically lose its carboxyl group to form acetone. So, ayan, mafo-form from acetoacetate, nag-form si acetone. However, this acetone is not actually the product of, kaya technically parang hindi siya product ng ketogenesis. Kasi nga, si acetone ay na-produce lang from the acetoacetate. Okay, so let me emphasize again that during ketogenesis, only these two ketone bodies are produced, while the third one, acetone, is synthesized from acetoacetate. Okay, now, the acetone in the bloodstream is very volatile kasi di ba alam natin, acetone, just like the property yung mga pang nail polish remover, very volatile sila. When we say volatile, they are easily vaporized. So after a while, parang wala na yung acetone dun sa bote. Ganun din dun sa bloodstream. So they are very volatile and they are excreted via exhalation. And they exhibit sweet odor, which is they are detectable in the breath of those diabetic. Kasi nga 'di ba sa diabetic person konti lang yung dapat carbohydrate intake nila kasi mag-i-increase yun ng glucose. So okay, so more on lipids sila, dietary lipids. So kaya itong acetone na yan na release sila via exhalation. Okay, so paano ba tong ketogenesis na to? So we need two molecules of acetyl-CoA. Remember, madaming acetyl-CoA ang naproproduce after beta oxidation. Okay, so the first reaction is a condensation reaction. Pag sinabing condensation, two small molecules will form together to produce a bigger molecule. And that acetyl-CoA will be formed. The CoA was supplied by isa lang ang CoA. Remember, dalawa ang CoA dito. So, yung isang CoA ay matatanggal. Kaya ito, may release ng CoA. Okay, so Acetoacetyl-CoA will undergo condensation reaction. That's the second step, wherein gagamit na naman ng acetyl-CoA. So, ito na yung pang third na acetyl-CoA plus water. So, one of the CoA will be removed to produce the 3-hydroxy-3-methyl-glutaryl-CoA. And after that, one of the acetyl-CoA will be removed. So, wala ng CoA dyan. Ang mapoproduce na lang is the acetoacetate during the chain cleavage. Remember, chain cleavage is the breaking down of structure. Okay, so from acetoacetate, it will then be reduced in step 4, so via reduction. Remember, redox na naman to, so we need the NADH. And this one will be producing the beta hydroxybutyrate. These two are the ketone bodies. Okay? So overall accumulation of ketone bodies in the blood and urine are called ketogenesis. Ketosis. Ketosis is often detectable in the smell of acetone in one person's breath, and acetone is very volatile, ayun nga nasabi ko kanina, and excreted through the lungs. Excess accumulation of ketone bodies in the blood naman is ketonemia. So accumulation in the blood and urine is ketosis, and if there's an excess, is ketonemia, and ketone bodies are excreted in the urine is called ketonuria. Okay, so those are the ketone bodies. Then we also have lipogenesis. Lipogenesis is another metabolic pathway in lipid metabolism. This is where the fatty acids are synthesized from the acetyl-CoA. So babalik siya, no? So dati na-breakdown yung fatty acid, nag-breakdown siya para maging maliit na acetyl-CoA, but during lipogenesis, the small acetyl-CoA will form together to form the fatty acid. And we take note that lipogenesis is not just the simple reverse of beta oxidation pathway. Okay? And then from that, we also have another metabolism pathway, which is the biosynthesis of cholesterol, which is a C27 molecule. So it has 27 carbon atom. It its production consumes 18 molecules of acetyl-CoA. So yung maraming acetyl-CoA na na-produce during beta oxidation, kapag hindi natin siya i-convert sa energy, it could be converted to the cholesterol. And this biosynthesis of cholesterol is a very complex reaction wherein it involves 27 separate enzymatic steps. So medyo mahaba-haba. Okay? So ito nga yung ating interrelationship between carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. Ulitin natin, pag kumain tayo ng carbohydrates, of course, it will undergo digestion. Mabe-breakdown yan into disaccharides, polysaccharides, and further on, magiging monosaccharides na siya, tapos maproproduce na ang glucose. Okay, so from that glucose could enter the glycolysis para ma-produce ang pyruvate via glycolysis. Tapos, kapag wala naman na tayong supply ng glucose, pwede rin naman na that pyruvate could be used back to produce glucose again via gluconeogenesis. Nevertheless, that pyruvate could enter the inner mitochondrial membrane so as to be converted to acetyl-CoA. At alam natin, si acetyl-CoA lang ang pwedeng pumasok sa Krebs cycle, and eventually mga intermediates niya ay mag-proceed sa stage 4 electron transport chain and oxidative phosphorylation. Okay? Now, pagdating sa fats or lipids food intake, of course, mag-breakdown yan sa dalawa. This triacylglycerol will be broken down into two. Ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. The glycerol part and the fatty acid part. Now, sa glycerol, alam natin, during the oxidation, makakaproduce siya ng dihydroxyacetone phosphate, which is eventually an intermediate of glycolysis. Kaya ito yung sinasabi natin kanina. So, the glycolysis, pwede siyang mag-undergo, papasok siya sa glycolysis, and eventually, magiging pyruvate. Tapos, ganun pa rin yung pattern from the pyruvate, papasok siya into acetyl-CoA, then that acetyl-CoA could have Krebs cycle or electron transport chain. Now, for the fatty acid naman, the fatty acid could undergo the three-step process, the activation, the shuttle mechanism, and then pag nakapasok na siya dito sa inner mitochondrial membrane, that fatty acid could now undergo the beta oxidation process. At alam natin na sandamakmak or madaming-madaming acetyl-CoA ang ma-produce. Now, from that carbohydrate metabolism, nag-produce din tayo ng acetyl-CoA. From that glycerol, magpo-produce din tayo ng acetyl-CoA. From that fatty acid, nag-produce din tayo ng acetyl-CoA. Pag sobrang dami na ng acetyl-CoA na na-produce, pwede na rin daw yan so marami siyang na-produce, no? Hindi naman siya papasok sa Krebs cycle. Ayaw niya sa Krebs cycle. So saan siya papasok? Pwede siyang pumunta as for the production of ketone bodies. So ito na yung ketogenesis. Okay? Ketone bodies, okay? Or say for example, hindi naman siya papasok ng ketone bodies, pwede rin din siyang bumalik na acetyl-CoA and undergo ng lipogenesis. And from that lipogenesis, these acetyl groups ay magre-reform sila ng fatty acid, and then again, marirepackage sila as triacylglycerol. Those are the body fats na that could be stored in the adipose cell. Now, kung hindi naman siya magla-lipogenesis, that acetyl-CoA could also be forming cholesterol. So those are the metabolic pathway, or those are the interrelationship of carbohydrate and lipid metabolism. Okay?